If you're a regular viewer of Kababayan today, used to be Kababayan LA, I'm sure you know by now that around this time we talk about FPAC, Festival of Philippine Arts and Culture. This is their 22nd year, happening this year, September 7 and 8, Saturday and Sunday, at Point Fermin Park in San Pedro. Earlier, nakausap po natin si Tita Norma Austin and Jilly Canizares. Sila po ang dalawang magigiting na mga kababaihan na nagsimula at nagpapatuloy ng tradisyon ng FPAC. So yan yung nakaraan. Right about now, we're talking about the present, ang kasalukuyan ng FPAC. And we have with me a very young community advocate in Ben Biscocho, Deputy Director of Film Arts. Hello and welcome to Kababayan.
Thank you for having me.
So earlier, you see, the thread that we're doing right now is the past, present, and future of FPAC, because 22 years, you know, there's a lot of history, but then at the same time, what is the now? What's going on with FPAC now?
So now we're trying to cover, you know, all parts of the Filipino and Filipino American community. So everything from traditional, traditional dances, traditional rituals, performances, and whatnot, to also contemporary. So this year we're having Rex Navarrete, who's a staple for FPAC, as well as J.R. Solona, who's going to be coming in from the Philippines. He has a hit single in the Philippines right now, and the Filipino American Symphony Orchestra. So we're trying to cover all ranges.
Why is that? What is the impact that you want to leave to our community? What should FPAC impact? Should be?
Yeah, so I think the impact of FPAC is that it's really bringing the community together. How it's designed is that there's multiple aspects that really work together in this synergistic way where, you know, we bring in 80 small businesses within the Filipino American community to create economic development. We bring in 600 artists who perform every year, over 400 student volunteers from all over Southern California, different universities.
And this is what Jilly was saying earlier, when it's an all-inclusive festival where you talk about the different aspects. There's the traditional ones. Alam ko, what I'm excited about is the mga higanteng gulay. I covered that before when I was starting out here in LA, and also you have different performances, different artists, and I love that you're pushing economic development.
Yes, definitely. And I think also a big impact that we want to create is, you know, each year we involve 6 to 10 students to go through internships that we have. So we're kind of starting to create leadership development, and also give them a hands-on experience to really producing this festival, what it takes to put on such a big event, you know.
I love that we're training, making an effort to train the young Filipino American, second, third, fourth generation, because that's what we need. They will be the ones inheriting this from us, and they will be the ones continuing the tradition. As a Filipino American, why are you with FPAC? Why are you with Film Arts?
So I started off with Film Arts as an intern back when I was a teenager, and really the connection to my heritage and to my culture and the development that it gave me allowed me to not only grow within the Filipino community, but also outside the Filipino community. So with all the experiences that I've had working with Film Arts and FPAC, I was able to branch out and do different leadership development programs. But then through doing those programs, you know, it was constantly in my head, why am I one of the only Filipinos like in this program? And it goes back to the whole thing with how Film Arts is really trying to connect young Filipino Americans to their culture, as well as trying to keep them civically engaged in order to, you know, create more of an impact not just in our community but also outside, and create more visibility for Filipinos in general.
You raised the question earlier. You asked yourself, why am I the only Filipino in this kind of program? Did you ever find the answer?
You know, I think the answer is that with young Filipino Americans, there isn't a lot of opportunities for us to continually be civically engaged, you know, and FPAC is one of those opportunities where it's easy to get involved and it's easy to gain experience, and it's easy to take that experience and branch out. And if there were more opportunities for young Filipino Americans, like the leadership development that the festival provides, I think, you know, we'd be able to branch out even more.
And I think celebrating the Filipino culture makes us realize and appreciate the beauty. Myself as an immigrant, I know of the culture a little bit, of the traditions, because I grew up in the Philippines and we celebrated all that. But having been born here, I can just only imagine that there's not too many resources to do that. And when we celebrate it in a way that FPAC does, then we form an appreciation, and then we're more engaged.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we want to be involved, right?
Yeah, definitely. And there's so many different aspects that I didn't know about before I started working with FPAC, like Babaylan, the Babaylan pavilion that we have, seeing the seniors pavilion, and like you mentioned, the big vegetables that we have, and being able to engage with different generations of Filipino Americans.
So if there's one word, and preferably Tagalog, that's beautiful about FPAC, ano yun?
Let's see. I'm going to give you 3 words,
okay.
and that's our theme for this year. It's pagugnay, pagbabago, and paglago.
Pagugnay, which is connectivity, pagbabago, change, paglago, development. That is the future of FPAC. We're going to be talking about that when we return on the show. What's next for FPAC when we return? Don't go away.